Is this thing on?
And I can understand because, and I'm not in some of those positions. Like I don't live in Texas along the border where I may see such a huge influx where I feel like it's changed my way of living to where
Right.
it's like, oh no, I need something different from this. I could just roll with you on that one thing, and that's going to absolutely make me vote for you. Financial markets, and felt like I was making a lot more money and saving money
Right.
when Trump was in office. And oh no, we got to do something to get business back up. So
That's right.
different things. And then on the other side, I feel like a lot of people who probably supported Kamala was because some people, once again, they wanted to see history being made. They
That's right.
wanted
That's
to
right.
see like, hey, let's have a woman, let's have a woman of mixed and different heritages.
That's right.
And then a lot of people, of course, they didn't want to go back to something they seen before that they didn't like. Oh no, we don't want to put the big bad wolf back in office. So some
Right.
people just gonna vote with you because of that reason, because they
Sure.
don't, um, want that is fearful for them. But two, from people that I've talked to, I know a lot of people who voted Democrat when Biden got in office and they just got disappointed and just voted the opposite way.
It's interesting because I'm curious because you identify as a Black Christian woman,
Hmm.
and I was talking to another guest
Hmm.
who did vote for Trump, and he was
Hmm.
talking about how a lot of the older generation is committed to Democrats, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But you see, like the younger generation, they see that Democrats be promising stuff and don't be delivering on a consistent basis,
Right,
right?
right,
So it's
exactly.
like,
And too much regulation. See, that's another thing, like
yeah,
working in loans, doing in banks and stuff. Oh my goodness, it's like when Trump was in office, the regulations were much different, so you were able to get more things done. Now, don't get me
faster.
wrong, sometimes if you abuse things, then that's how we kind of ended up in the 2008 recession. But I think that gotta be optimistic.
Yes, we do. We
Yes,
definitely
we
do.
just gotta be overall, we just have to be optimistic. But yes, I do identify because you were saying something about me identifying as a Christian woman, and then what were you asking about
Well,
that?
I don't know what I guess I don't know what I was exactly asking. I think I was wondering if you have the perspective of you don't necessarily have to vote Democrat just because your grandparents and everybody tell you to.
Oh, right,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
You know
And
what I'm
oh,
saying? Because we
that's
have the
what
same
we were
grandma.
kind of talking about, right? Was just one side is heavy on the regulations, the other side isn't. And now with this new generation, and especially like with all these creators and podcasters and things like that, I think they feel like having somebody like in Trump in office may be better because
Sure.
he's not going to be monitoring like this and trying to any dime they think you're making coming after it, perhaps.
Right.
So I think some of those things, just like with the whole TikTok ban, a lot of people were like, oh, that was a huge thing.
That was a huge thing, and I still don't know what's happening with that because they said it was supposed to be banned. It's like it's still up
Mm,
and running.
saw last week that I think is almost on its way, but I'm sure
Oh, really?
it, once Trump gets in it, he's not going to ban it. So,
Sure, sure. Well, we'll see. We shall see. I actually I
right,
don't recall hearing anything about him from him about that. So I mean,
right.
I just don't know. So the next question I have for you, T, is what is the worst thing about society to you?
I would say the worst thing about society, I would have to say is hate.
Say that.
Yeah, I would have to say is hate. Yeah, that's the worst. Absolutely.
I would agree. I totally agree. But I'm wondering what part of hate. I want to go a little deeper there. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so I would probably say what part of hate? Just judgment,
Okay.
prejudging, classifying. I would probably say those being like the biggest things. What else? Yeah, just discrimination. I mean, a lot of times that just happens for no reason
Yeah.
and judgment. So I would say those. to me are the biggest things that, and another thing too, though, that I really believe holds society and people back is jealousy and
Sure.
enviousness, you know.
Yeah, and those are very hateful emotions. Absolutely.
Right.
I agree.
Hmm.
Okay, thank you. Thank you
Hmm.
for enlightening us on that. That's good. The next one is, what do you believe is one of the reasons that Trump and the largely Republican Congress was elected?
Well, one reason I could believe is that they didn't want a woman in office. They were like, oh, H to the N-O. They weren't ready for that, which hey, I mean, when we're kind of in the middle of these, what's looking like wars here and there, hey, I do think that he may absolutely be a better negotiator for these wars that we're seeing
Sure,
around the world. I do think that, to be honest.
sure.
And I wasn't happy about a lot of money being sent here, there, and everywhere when it's like we got wars right within our own borders.
That's right.
Let's fix, that's what we really needed to been working on. We could have had a much better people and better society. Exactly.
I'm glad you brought that point up. You're the second person that's brought that up, where we spend a lot of money, like maintaining other people's
Minding their
economies.
business.
Yeah, and it's like I mean, we're talking like billions on billions of dollars,
Yes.
and you just don't think we should be sending money like that.
Not like that. I mean, I can understand. I mean, maybe people need some assistance, but
Sure.
I can't fight your battles.
Right.
You
Say that.
know?
Say that.
Yeah, that's just the thing. And I would just have to, it would have to make sense. Like, okay, are we protecting certain interests that's over there or something? And,
Right.
start calculating, figure out what's costing more. It's
No, I
got
hear what
more.
you're saying.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, no, you're saying, are we just giving money to maintain relationships, or is there like a pointed reason,
Right,
right? Or we have an asset over there that needs protecting and it's being threatened.
right.
Y'all gonna protect it for us since y'all are over there type stuff, right? I hear what
Exactly.
you're saying. I hear what you're saying. The next question I have is, do you feel like you did enough to affect the election in the way you wanted to see it go? And this might be another kind of iffy question.
Oh, right. No, I didn't do enough. I mean, because I just honestly, I did not believe Kamala was going to win.
Sure.
I didn't think that. So, especially after Trump dodged that bullet, it was just like I was like, oh, he sealed the deal.
Right.
That one, and then next thing you know, that's when so many people started coming out like, oh yeah, they thought he was. They acted like,
Yeah.
he was.
Say it.
Right. So that I think kind of was the nail in the coffin. And I just didn't think that, yeah, I never thought like, oh, yeah, it really seems like a tight race because I remember before that's when him and Hillary was going at it. So it's just like, yeah, those polls to me don't speak too much. Yeah. And the other thing too is just kind of like, I know that a lot of men were supporting him. And so a lot of men that are married, your wife is going to go the same way that you go. A lot of times you guys got the same views and values.
Mhm.
So that also, I believe, was like another way for him to get like additional votes in a sense. Because a lot of men were not going to support a woman like more men supported him. So it's just
Yeah,
like, okay,
that's
he's
right.
going to make sure his wife is probably voting the same way he is, especially certain people. They're like, oh no, they got the whole family, people who hadn't voted in 30 years, they
That's
made
right.
sure.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And so here's a question.
Hmm.
So because you didn't actually think Kamala was going to win from the jump, do you feel like if she would have won, things would have changed for women?
I think what it could have done is just given us more hope and confidence, and she may have tried to implement some things to where there is more of an equality, you
Okay.
know, but I still think that it would have taken some time. Like it wouldn't be something, oh, we
Sure.
may immediately see. But I definitely think a lot of women would have absolutely been happy. And too, a lot of black women, we probably
That's
would have
right.
been walking around like, you can't tell me nothing.
That's
They
right.
didn't want to see that.
Well, you still can't tell me none, but that's it.
Right.
But no, I hear you. So I guess just asking from your perspective, because you are a female entrepreneur, do you feel like you get less opportunity as a woman?
What, and that's interesting that you say that. I think that sometimes you've got to be a little disruptive as a woman. And I think that depending on what industry it may be in, it can be actually very well received.
Okay.
I was looking into trucking, and
Okay. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a mostly male dominated, but I was so surprised to see all the women that were involved. And
Sure.
it's for like maybe administrative duties, invoicing, billing, things along that line. And it just even being like CEO, CFO, because a lot of times men can trust us with certain things, paying attention to details,
Sure. Sure.
negotiating, researching, details. So I actually think that sometimes it can be used to our advantage as an entrepreneur.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, and
But
it sounds like you coming from a place of like, ain't nobody gonna give me anything that I can't work for myself.
yeah, I mean, yeah, kind of. I mean, I never really have had anything given to me. So,
Sure.
yeah, I don't know what it's like to be on that end, except actually the government did help. Only time I really experienced the government helping with businesses was through COVID, you
Right.
know?
For
And so it's
PPE.
like, I mean, you don't want to have another catastrophe happen or pandemic, shall I say,
Yeah. Yeah.
in order to get some funding.
Right.
But one thing I can say though, it definitely does seem like there is funding out there. It seems like creditors are loaning money out more than what they used to. And I can only actually probably going forward, we'll probably see those kind of things maybe a little bit more because if they have more cash on hand, they'll have more to lend. So,
Well, that and I think there's some speculation that Trump is gonna lower the regulation for
mhm.
banks, so they might take on more risk and do that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that we can almost guarantee that because he can take advantage of that. And he knows a lot of times the struggles he experienced when he was trying to build stuff. Because I was
Sure.
listening, I think, to him even talking about that perhaps. And just like, oh, you got to go through this, you got to get through this, the EPA, and all this stuff. And it's like, and it costs so much money,
Yes, it did.
but I'm sure a lot of times those are there for a reason. But sometimes you can over-regulate.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. 100%. 100% agreed. No, that's a good perspective. Thank you. So we are at the last question. So the last question is what do you want to say to yourself 4 years in the future?
What do I want to say to myself 4 years in the future? Well, in 4 years, I would like to. So you're not saying where I would like to be in 4 years. You're just saying something that I may say to myself.
Yeah, which could be you made it
You made
to
it. Why was that? I was like, you made it, girl. No, but you made it. You survived. No, that's what I was thinking. But actually, what I would like to see is that I am a successful entrepreneur and that I have a business in place that I am able to bring other people in. And for example, my son or other people who maybe don't have like access or knowledge of certain things. So being able to kind of create maybe my own franchise for businesses that can still be lucrative, but you don't have to go to school for 4 years,
Sure.
so, you know,
Absolutely.
yes, so that's where I'm thinking. So who knows, in 4 years, maybe I'll have my general contractor's license. I don't know, but I am going in that direction of restoration.
Okay, excellent. Well, that's all the questions I have. We'll conclude by saying we are all different, but we are all also the same. What matters is we recognize that and move forward to make a better world for all of us. Thank you, T.
All
Love you.
right, thank you. Peace and blessings.